Welcome back, fans of basketball all over the world. I'm your host, Aravind Lingam, and this is the Raptors Wrap-Up podcast. I'm glad you guys can join us. You guys may be listening to me on my podcast, on iTunes, or on YouTube. Love to have you guys here. Now, what a game. The Toronto Raptors win Game 5, 108-98, and take a commanding 3-2 lead over the Washington Wizards, heading on the road back to Washington for Game 6. Now, the Raptors they did a lot of things great and they did a lot of things wrong in this game. But this was a typical Toronto Raptors fourth quarter showout. The Raptors struggled in the first three quarters to cause any kind of separation. The Raptors weren't able to separate from the Washington Wizards, who, gotta give them credit, Bradley Beal and John Wall showed out once again. Bradley Beal struggled in the first two games against the Raptors on the road, but this time he came in and he shot lights out. 8 of 20, not as efficiency that he gets, but still 20 points on the night. And John Wall, 26, 9 and 9, another solid game. But the key is the 7 turnovers that he had. The Raptors, with DeLon Wright and Kyle Lowry, they were swarming everywhere. They had Siakam as well, giving some length and giving him some problems. So the Raptors put multiple bodies in front of John Wall, gave him different looks, and it really helped in this game. Dwayne Casey played a masterful game in this one, putting JV in the fourth quarter for the first time in the series. While JV is a plus 23 in the entire series, he has yet to see the floor in the fourth quarter, probably because of his pick and roll defense, which he was kind of slacking in the first 4 games. But in this game, whether it was because Serge Ibaka was having another bad game, 3 points and 2 rebounds, just not good enough, JV came in that fourth quarter and dominated. He was a plus 19 in the game, is now a plus 42 in the series. DeLon Wright, can't say enough about him. 18 points in the game, 11 in the fourth, playing great defense, great strip on John Wall, and heading the other way for a sweet layup. Another layup and 2 big threes in this game by DeLon Wright in the fourth quarter. Really helped the Raptors get away from the Washington Wizards by winning the fourth quarter 29-20. And the Raptors, man, you got to give it to them. They were resilient. They weren't letting down. They were fighting, and they took the fight to the Washington Wizards. DeMar DeRozan chipped in with 32 points, 30 of them coming in the first 3 quarters. Without DeMar DeRozan's great offensive night, I don't think the Raptors would have been in this game. And Kyle Lowry played a masterful game once again. 17 points, 10 assists, was just everywhere on the court, active on the defensive end, and pushing the pace how he's used to in the regular season, and it's worked out wonders for this team. Now, the Raptors did win this game. JV with 14 points and 13 rebounds was key. 6 points and 7 boards in that decisive fourth quarter. But honestly, to take the good from the bad, the Raptors definitely need to learn how to play defense and make consecutive stops. The Washington Wizards were getting anything they want in the first 3 quarters, and the Raptors had the potential to be a great defensive team, as they were a top 5 defense in the regular season. So, putting it together, the Raptors did have a great fourth quarter in terms of defense, but they got to put it together for an entire 48 minutes. There are a couple of things the Raptors definitely need to take care of going into Game 6. First, rebounding. The Raptors were out-rebounded by 15. 50-35. The Washington Wizards won that rebounding margin by 14 offensive rebounds for the Washington Wizards and only 6 for the Raptors. And the Raptors didn't turn the ball over in this game, which was key. The Raptors only turned the ball over 10 times and forced 15 turnovers on the Washington Wizards, which really helped. Even though Washington did win the fast break points, it could have been way worse. And typically how the series went, as soon as we turned the ball over, John Wall's, bam, out there on the break, finding shooters, driving to the lane, causing all sorts of havoc. So the Raptors really did a good job there. Now, Casey played JV because Serge Ibaka was having a bad game, so you couldn't play him. So now the question comes, does he go with JV in the fourth quarter in Game 6 on the road? It's really up in the air. JV did have a great fourth quarter, but to see if it translates over in Game 6, it's all up to how they're playing. Plus, CJ Miles, man, his box score doesn't show that he had a good game, but he had a fantastic fourth quarter. The lineup that the Raptors ran, Kyle Lowry, DeLon Wright in the backcourt, DeMar at the 3, and CJ at the 4 with JV at the 5, has only played 5 minutes in the regular season. But this unconventional lineup that KC went to was great. It had spacing, it had good movement. JV was setting great screens for both DeMar and Lowry, and they found the big man inside, and the Raptors hit some key shots to win this game. What's key for Game 6 also is the shot selection. Now, DeMar didn't have a good fourth quarter in terms of the kind of shots he was taking, but the first 3 quarters he was doing a great job. Rather than force the shots, DeMar DeRozan played within the offense, and he passed the reins on to DeLon Wright, CJ Miles, Kyle Lowry, and JV to take care of the game in the fourth quarter, and they did their job. As DeLon Wright, man, his defense on John Wall and his offensive skills was key in this one. Can't say enough about DeLon Wright. He was my player of the game. Changed the entire dynamic of the fourth quarter, which was pivotal in the Raptors winning. Once again, the bench not there other than the DeLon Wright and CJ Miles. Siakam and Pirtle and Norman Powell got to give you more on the offensive end or the defensive end on a consistent basis. The Raptors did win the bench margin by 39-27 in terms of bench points, but the Raptors bench definitely needs to improve. Now, Van Vliet was upgraded to questionable in this game, but it remains to be seen if he's going to play in that Game 6. Getting Van Vliet 100% healthy is the first priority. You don't want to rush him back. He did have a separated shoulder, which is a very serious injury, so the Raptors will ease him back into the lineup, and if he comes in Game 6, it will give us a huge boost, but there's no rush there. Now, I want the Raptors to win this game on the road. Whether or not they bring it back, I have the confidence the Raptors will win Game 7, but I did predict the Raptors to win this series in 6, so I do predict the Raptors to win this game in Washington. Big road win. With that said, guys, make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe. Smash that like button and wait for the Game 6 on Friday. Let's see if the Raptors can pull it off in Washington. Peace.